Most of us say we want change until it actually shows up. Then it's messy, uncomfortable, and a little intimidating. But here's the thing. In business, every strategic plan, every new initiative, every bold idea is really a plan for change. Let's talk about why that's hard and how to handle it better. Hey everyone, Marcus here with the POV podcast. Today we're talking about one of the most important and misunderstood parts of business and strategy, and that's change. Most strategic plans don't fail because of the market or the model or even the numbers. They fail because of a lack of execution, which we talked about in the last episode, and they fail because of people and how they respond to uncertainty. So, in the next few minutes, we'll break down why change feels so uncomfortable, what personality and generations have to do with it, and what business owners can do to lead through it with clarity and confidence. All right, why we resist change. People don't resist change because they're lazy. They resist it because it threatens something deeper, our sense of stability, competence, and control. When things shift, people quietly start asking, will I still be good at this? Will I still matter? Am I going to be competent? And that's where the resistance comes from. It often sounds logical. We've tried that before. That's not how we do it. Now's not the time. We're too busy. There's too many things going on. That's very logical and it could be valid. But underneath all that logic is fear of losing control, fear of being exposed, and fear of not fitting in. Change exposes what's untested in us, and that's why it feels risky. And here's another thing. Most leaders don't acknowledge this and don't realize this. Change will amplify insecurities and inferiority in people. We're people. We all have got baggage. We all got stuff, right? And we all have insecurities. Change will amplify that. So we have to be aware of that. All right. Personality and change. How we deal with that risk depends a lot on our personality. Analytical people crave structure and logic. They fear being unprepared. Drivers want control. They hate feeling powerless. Amiables want stability. They fear conflict or disruption. And expressives, they want connection. They fear being left out or unheard. So if you're leading people through change, understanding this is half the battle. The analytical person needs the why, the driver needs ownership, the amiable needs reassurance, and the expressive needs involvement. It's really all about emotional intelligence. When you communicate the same message to everyone the same way, some are going to tune out because they feel like it doesn't apply. But when you connect it to how people naturally think, they're going to lean in. You're going to be able to connect with their heart. All right, generations. It's not just about personality. Generational perspective plays a role too. Baby boomers, for example, born between 46 and 64, often value experience, consistency, and proven systems. For them, change can feel like a challenge to what they've already built and what they've already invested in over the course of their career. They want to know that what came before still matters. They want to know that they still matter. Millennials, they were born between 81 and 96. They grew up in constant change and they're comfortable with it, but only when it feels purposeful. If the why isn't clear, they disengage pretty fast. So, recognizing these differences helps you meet people where they are. It's another layer of understanding. Like I said before, it's about emotional intelligence because people don't just resist the new, they protect the value of what's worked before. All right, let's talk about owners. And here's the tough part. Sometimes the biggest obstacle to change isn't the team at all. It's the owner. Especially for owner operators who built their business from the ground up, the company becomes a reflection of who they are. It's personal, it's their identity. And their identity and purpose are tied to how things have always been done. They started it, they've built it, it is what it is. So when something new comes along, new systems, new structure, new people, it can feel like losing control to the owner. They say they want growth, but deep down they fear what growth will require, letting go, delegating, learning new things. And they may not even be able to identify what that fear is, but there's fear there. And because they're used to operating it in chaos, because most owner operators do, they get comfortable there. That comfort becomes the lock on the door to meaningful change. And I've seen this so many times in my career where owners will operate in an environment of chaos day in and day out, and it's comfortable for them. Even though they know something's broke, It's comfortable. So here's the truth in that. And everything in your business depends on you. You're not managing growth, you're managing survival. Leadership starts when the owner decides to evolve, because when the owner grows, the business can finally grow too. And as I mentioned before, often the owner will say, "Hey, I want growth. I want growth." And he can never attain that growth, and it becomes frustrating to him. But what he doesn't realize is that he's the bottleneck. And then oftentimes he's blaming the team around him because of the lack of growth. But the reality is that it's him. He's not willing to adapt, he's not willing to change. So, how do you actually help people and yourself move through change? First, communicate predictably, not perfectly. Uncertainty is what makes people anxious, not imperfection. A 5-minute Friday update, here's what we know, here's what's next, builds more trust than silence ever will. Oftentimes, owners and leadership want to withhold information from the team. That's a mistake. You can share enough. You don't have to share it all, but you can share enough to let people understand what's going on. In my experience, it's never going to be enough. You can never share enough because people always are going to want more information, but don't make the mistake of withholding information. Share what you can. Second, involve people early. When people help shape the plan, they don't fight it. Ask, what do you think will make this work? Or what makes this easier? That sense of involvement creates ownership. It creates belonging. Third, create emotional safety. Let your team know it's okay not to have all the answers. Let everybody know that we're all learning along the way. It gives them permission to try. And finally, name what's uncomfortable. Even positive change comes with loss, old habits, old rules, old routines. Acknowledging that makes you more human and keeps your team grounded through transition. Okay, here's the takeaway. Change doesn't break strategy. People's fear of change does. And that fear doesn't go away through pressure. It fades through understanding. Help your team understand. If you want your business to evolve, start with yourself. Be willing to look in the mirror, be strong and courageous in identifying your lack of abilities, if that's what it is, because people don't resist change. They resist feeling unseen, unheard, or unprepared. The best leaders don't push people through change. They walk with them through it. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the POV podcast. I really hope this added value. If today's message did hit home, share it with another business owner who's facing change right now. And as always, check out povstrategic.com. You can find other resources there. Until next time, be blessed.